Late nights and cheap wine, we gather round the mic just killing time. Tales of glory days now long behind, a podcast of dads who've lost their minds. We reminisce on the good old days when we had hair and our bodies didn't ache. Now we're just middle-aged guys with a thirst for fame, telling stories and jokes, we've got no shame. The world's moved on, but we're stuck in the past. Our podcast ain't big, but it's ours to broadcast, talking about games and having a blast. The Time Pals, we're just trying to make it last.
Ho ho ho, Time Pals. Welcome to a very festive episode of your favorite nostalgia-fueled trip down memory lane. I'm John, your jolly guide through all things gaming, movies, and holiday pop culture. Today we're going to be unwrapping our favorite holiday moments in our own lives. There might be some calls to pop culture and references, but for the most part, we're just going to be having a nice chill holiday episode, talking about the things in our own holiday lives.
God damn it, John. You got to be better at intros than me, too. You're not only more handsome, but you can do this shit, too. Just fucking take over the show.
No, it's too much pressure. It's too much. I'm here for minimal effort. I'm the opposite of Deadpool. Deadpool runs around screaming maximum. I am absolutely minimal effort.
Well, the one thing the better sounding, more handsome co-host forgot to mention is this is Time Pals, and we are now part of the Mayday Network. So we welcome all of our new listeners.
You want to take the first topic, John? And then
Sure, sorry. My dad called me right then, and I was like, I'm busy, man. That's why I muted fast. I'm like, what the fuck do you want?
They're telling me the dementia's getting worse, son.
Yeah. We're talking about Christmas memories, of which you'll have few going forward. No. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk Christmas memories. Let's talk specifically Christmas traditions. Weirdly enough, my family doesn't have a ton of Christmas traditions. There's maybe one or two that really stuck, but there was a period where people attempted to introduce new ones. And then there's a couple from throughout the years that just kind of faded away. And so that's kind of the lead up to my question, which is what are some of the traditions that you remember either from childhood or that somebody tried to get started and it just crashed and burned you can remember? And I don't know, alphabetically, Chris.
Okay, let's see. I mean, we got a lot of them. One that stands out specifically is
Bagpipes.
No. Every year we were sent a fruitcake by my paternal grandfather, and every year we would use that fruitcake box to wrap one present. Okay, and so like somebody's present would go in that fruitcake box, and we'd wrap it, and somebody was lucky enough to get the fruitcake box. It was like a tradition, a running joke in the family. It was like you open up your present and you see, oh, I got the fruitcake box this year. You know, it's just like a silly tradition that we had started somehow.
Well,
I think it was my dad.
Gift? Was it like an expensive gift or was it like a joke gift?
No. I mean, it's just it could be socks. It could be anything, but like you were the lucky one that got a gift put into the fruitcake box that year.
Did it smell like fruitcake?
Well, here's the thing about fruitcake. So in my culture, fruitcake was not a thing. It was a joke you always heard about.
Mm-hmm.
That was, you know what I mean? Like on like sitcoms and stuff, but I had no context of it. I had no reference. So I never understood the fruitcake thing. I don't even know what it is.
Oh God, it's like a brick of solid bread.
Well, that was always the joke. Like it's like it gets passed around for years and years, but I've never had one.
Right. You're not missing much. If I'm being honest,
it's a brick.
But what does it taste like? I swear to God, if you say fruit, I swear to fucking God.
No, I mean, yeah, it kind of does. It's candied fruit so on top. So like,
Is that what the joke is? Like it lasts forever?
it's like walnuts and maraschino cherries, I guess, kind of like flavor.
It's a very
Interesting.
this would be in a 60s white people cookbook recipe.
Yeah.
Like the only thing it's missing is some fucking jello.
I never like to bring race into our Geek podcast, but I will give your people credit, all three of you. You guys love gelatin. So like Jello, everything, and then like the fruitcake thing I never understood, but that was the joke. It's hard as a rock and it's made out of pure sugar.
Oh, like me.
Well, right, yeah, exactly. And it sounds amazing, just like John. And I've never had it, which is not like John.
Yeah, I've never had it either. My family never bought it. What did you guys do with did you guys eat the fruitcake? Did you just throw it at your neighbors? Like,
it got eaten. It did get eaten. I think mostly by my dad, but I do not remember eating it like every year. So it was at one point in the fridge and then it wasn't. So I don't know.
I feel like it's definitely one of those things that like you have to dip in coffee to eat.
Oh wow!
Like it's because it's so dense. It's so dense,
Right.
and it gets refrigerated, and it's like I've never eaten it. We like I said, I wasn't, but I feel like I'm looking at a picture of it right now, and it just like I think you could beat someone to death with it. Like I'm not. It just looks solid.
It was dense for sure. I guess another tradition, we had a lot of like movies that we watched traditionally.
Oh, nice.
The same ones every year. Ernest Saves Christmas was one.
I used to love that one.
Yes.
And I mean that was usually like the top one. It wasn't. No, okay, and then It's a Wonderful Life. So
you guys watch It's a Wonderful Life every year,
yeah,
really?
That was more of my mom, but yeah, that was one that we always watched.
That's actually very sweet. Oh my God, we never watched that shit. My family never did that.
We were a Home Alone family.
My wife family's a Home Alone family.
For sure. I mean, that's one of them too. But yeah, it was more of like, watch these movies to set the mood, set the holiday spirit mood. It's like it didn't feel like Christmas until you saw those.
Interesting. Very well. Then, Dom, do you have that kind of thing too?
I think it kind of became like an unofficial tradition since it was mostly like my parents' generation, probably like 20 or 30 of them, and then like grandparents there. And it was only like me, my two older brothers, and like two cousins. And so most of the family didn't really know or care to talk to them very much. Just like, oh, yeah, it's great to see you, hug, and then move on to the next one. And then the five of us, I guess it kind of became a tradition where we'd be like, does somebody have a football or a ball or just something?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we would go outside and just throw the ball around.
God, so we don't have to talk to each other.
We just didn't really want to talk to the parents, at least not for too long. Great to see them. But then it's like, they just want to talk about parent stuff. And we're all just too young to be like, we don't care. We just want to do something
the
else.
irony is like the three of the four of us are parents now, so we are the ones having the conversation that everybody wants to ignore. All the kids ignore.
Yes, exactly.
Oh no,
it's like, here, come meet your aunt and uncle.
Right? Yeah, it's just we're that now. It's growing old.
I won't fall into those. I will forever be like, hey, let's go outside and make up a game with a bunch of PVC pipe and a shovel and this extra soccer ball that I found.
It's like practically deflated because no one's touched it in years.
So for us, we did the cousin thing. We usually go to different houses every year. So we'd have our Christmas in our house, and we'd go to another person's house and so on and so forth, dropping off gifts and shit. But for us, we were the Christmas movie family. So like if there was something new out, we would do that. And that was part of the Christmas gift. Like, let's go do.
Oh, you go see a movie.
Yeah, we would go see a movie.
Oh, okay.
Every year. So we didn't have like, we're going to watch Home Alone every year. But like, whatever was out, Terminator 2 was out. That is our Christmas movie this year. Whatever the fuck it was.
I gotcha. Okay.
Oh, and
I
then
always wondered that, like, because we never went out on Christmas unless Christmas fell on a Sunday, in which case we'd be going to church. But usually it was like, you know, we didn't go out a ton. We had dinner at friend's house later on in the day. But I was always like, wondering about those families that went to go see movies on Christmas.
yeah, that was us. Whatever was so a lot because my dad used to work a lot of hours, so we were a latchkey kid family. So whenever there was a chance to do a thing, we would do a thing just out of sheer boredom. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's just like let's go do whatever it was because like nobody wanted to stay home.
Right, I gotcha.
And then the other thing we do now is with my new family, or with my family, I should say, is we do a lot of tamales. So like, I don't do them, but because the Mexican side of my family will literally like they'll be like aunties here, and they will just take up the entire kitchen,
Oh yeah.
and then they will just make tamales all night. And in my mind, I'm like, this is a terrible tradition.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
worth it.
Oh well, it's worth it to eat it, but it's the actual making of a tamale is a pain in the ass because they do the whole like they smash the what is it they
The masa, yeah.
masa. Thank you. They smash all that stuff, and they cook all this meat and they put it all together.
Wait,
they
like-
throw an olive like it's a fucking martini. You know what I mean? And they do it all like for hours. They'll make like hundreds of these things, and then that's what they will give out to the other family members for Christmas.
Do you have space at your Christmas? I want tamales.
Yeah, John's
Fucking
He's inviting
John's
himself.
hinting for an
kids, we're
invite
gonna
there.
go meet your new family now.
Hey, when the Time Pals get together for Shadow's birthday, I will bring some to you. I promise.
Fuck yes. No, dude, I love tamales.
They're
But
really
the
good.
thing you have to
I
do
mean,
is you have
they're
to.
excellent. Don't worry. Don't get me wrong. They're excellent. I offered to help out 1 year, and I will never
Yes.
do it again.
Yes,
Never do it again.
It's hard.
No,
It's
not
hard.
only is it hard on my fucking wrists and hands, but it's like 6 hours of Mexican aunties ripping on whatever auntie isn't there. For it doesn't matter. Like just like how she's a whore, and like it doesn't even. Like, they're like in their 50s and 60s, and there's like,
Oh, they're
"Did you
brutal,
see
dude.
what she wore on Christmas Mass? I can't believe she's such a bitch." And then like that auntie will trade out with another auntie because one of them has to go home, and it's, "Hey, did you see what that other chick was wearing?" And I'm like, "This is terrible. This is a terrible tradition you guys have."
Dude, they're vicious. They're vicious.
Oh, almost 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm happy that my Spanish is minimal because I couldn't figure out all the shit they were talking about me, the one white dude in the Mexican family.
They will do it if I'm in the room. They'll be like, well, Mike _ has to know why I don't like this person for this moment in time.
Oh man. Yeah, I think the best thing I've seen on how to help people who suck at making tamales with tamales is some dude got one of those plastic like half moon spackle spreaders, and he just put the corn husk on the counter, and then just spackled the masa on there, and then moved it, and then scraped up, spackled, and just was crank. That was the only. I was like, that's brilliant.
It would have saved me time.
Yeah, I still won't do it again. I did it once too, and I was like, nope. I did one tamale in the time that everybody else did like 2 dozen.
It's the worst. It's one of those few times where I'm like, it sucks being part of a culture. I would rather do the fruitcake. To get a gift.
So for my family, we had. I mean, like I said, there weren't a lot of traditions. There was, of course, the post-Christmas present wrapping paper fight. Which
Right. Oh, nice.
you just
Okay.
ball up the wrapping paper and just launch it at whoever's face is closest to you.
Burning of the
Goes
cross.
back and forth, and then we had a family friend who was getting older and even more crotchety, and he got fed up with it 1 year. Like, we legitimately could not tell if he was being serious or not. He's like, "This is ridiculous. First wrapping paper, the next thing it's bullets." And we're just, what? We're just gonna break into a gunfight in the living
No.
room.
Not to cut you off, but back in the day before I got married, I had a relationship in college, and she was her family were like farmers, and their Christmas tradition, I shit you not, was shooting bottle rockets at each other. I'd never
Oh, yeah.
seen a bottle rocket, and like we were there some random Christmas, and like for obvious like a few more after that, and it was literally like, oh, this is how like this part of America lives.
Oh man, I was gonna say I haven't done bottle rocket fights, but Roman candle wars were hell yeah.
Oh,
that was a blast.
they light it on fire. They lit it on fire.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I still want to do that thing where I duct tape like 16 Roman candles together, like a Gatling gun, and then just like
Shoot it. Yeah,
go
yeah.
out, just blast them everywhere. So the wrapping paper thing, like that was normal. It still is normal, but that family friend has since passed on. But my mom went through this period where I think she wanted a little bit more Christmas focused, like more holiday cheer. So she started trying to do things. So one year she was like, "Oh, we're going to start going to the holiday Disney concert in the city." And I'm like 20 at this point. 20 years old.
A little past the window there, Mom.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, we can try it. And so it was me, my mom, my stepdad, and my step. I forget if my brother probably went. Who knows? So fuck you, Tony. But
Hear that, Tony? Fuck you.
but we he actually listens to the
And West
podcast too,
Nickel.
so this will be fun when it pops up on him. So we tried that, and we were just like, like it was. She was like, oh yeah, it's a big thing. The lady who voiced Ariel in the movie is singing the songs, and we're like, hey, like it wasn't a bad concert, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
It wasn't amazing.
But then there were. She tried to get us to do like caroling, but like just in the house as a family, which was awkward. Which was kind of awkward. Like I feel like it would have been less bad if she wanted us
So
to
you're
go
just like you're just sitting around the piano, like you're all singing songs like in the movies.
Not the piano.
Oh, you're just
There's no piano.
gathered around the CD player.
Yeah, either that or we're just going full on a cappella, baby.
Nice.
And that lasted not even one song. And then now it's I think she just stopped, and she's happy to just have people around and do a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
There's still
Learn a
the
lesson.
Be Santa Fight Club with the kids. So whoever wins gets to be Santa and hand out the gifts.
Oh yeah,
See,
yeah.
Filipino families, not my family, but the other houses we would go to, karaoke was a thing
Oh hell yeah!
every Christmas, as you probably can guess. Karaoke. I've heard so the top 3 Christmas songs for me: 1, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer; 2, Two Bureau Bells; and then 3, My Way by Sinatra. Because every old Filipino man, My Way played 24/7. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get too off topic, but in the Philippines, haven't people like been shot and stabbed over singing that song poorly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a major song. It is. I'm not even kidding. It is a song where you can insult an entire town by singing it poorly.
Yep.
Dang.
Yes. Yes.
And then they'll Julius Caesar you if you fuck up.
Yeah. No, it's a different style. You can't blame other cultures.
Damn. So I would hate to do like a karaoke Christmas night and then someone like randomly picks a song and that one comes on. It's like, oh dear God.
Filipinos everywhere are just like, I hear My Way playing.
I know. Yeah.
Mike's family starts sharpening their
somebody is
knives.
singing My Way badly.
The person's family starts disappearing.
That
Merry Christmas. Yeah. This has been a great Christmas episode
yeah.
so far.
Yeah. let's use that to lateral to
I'm gonna make that the opening of this episode.
well, I
You
mean,
will.
that's the perfect segue. You can cut out all this banter in between. It's just the Merry Christmas to let's lateral with that to our Filipino member for his question. So what
what do you got,
for us?
Mike?
What do you got? Let's hear it.
I thought John was reading every question.
No,
Oh no, we're taking turns.
Oh shit! Hold on, I don't even have it up. One
just
sec.
because you like listening to my Barry White-esque voice.
I mean, it worked for me. Let's do. We just did family traditions, right? Let's
Mhm.
let's do worst and most annoying kid gifts.
Oh, hell yeah.
So 3 of the 4 of us have children. Shadow is the only one that has cats. But at the same time, when your kids get something from a family member that's gonna fucking suck. So like it's either it's super noisy, or it's way too expensive, or it's something that that they're gonna like either not be interested in or only be interested in. And we'll start with John.
So I'll throw out 2 because I'm guilty. I'm very guilty of perpetuating this cycle of violence. So my brother got my kids a karaoke machine.
Yes.
Yep. The thing about this
I
karaoke
did it
machine,
my way.
the thing about this karaoke machine is it doesn't play any music unless it's just a microphone attached to a speaker that you have to Bluetooth to your phone and play. So now my phone is busy at the same
Karaoke.
time as this fucking kids bop.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I can't
kids
distract
bop
myself with
too.
stupid phone games. So I was like, you're a bad person.
Oh, that is diabolical.
Oh,
I know,
Damn.
right? But
That's
I mean,
terrible.
like I said, it's karma because I've got some stepbrothers, and when their kids were younger, I sent them a fucking 8-foot long floor piano, like from the movie Big.
Oh shit. That's awesome.
Damn.
Yeah, it's you just roll it out like a DDR map or mat, and yep, I made sure that they got it. So I FaceTimed them. I'm like, did you guys like the present? And they're like, yeah. And I could see him in the back. I'm like, you mother. But yeah, I'm. Those were the 2 most annoying ones, hands down.
That's amazing. So Dom, I know you have cats, but surely you must have either gotten something or given something out as a joke just to ruin someone's Christmas.
I don't know if it was to ruin their Christmas necessarily. No, I think it just was like a really annoying like squeaky toy or something for like my
For
parents
yourself?
to give to the dog. To their dog.
Oh.
And it was just like the most annoying sounding toy that, the dog would just constantly be biting on, and it was just so annoying that they're just like, why do you want to torture us with this?
Real question, being an animal daddy, do the cats get special gifts?
I mean, my wife likes to give them gifts.
That's what I thought. God,
and I'm just like, why?
Okay, follow-up question. Christmas, do the cats believe in Christ?
They probably do.
Yes, I can confirm cats do believe in Christ because he is their number one enemy as the spawns of Satan.
I was gonna say, do they crucify him 8 times? I'll cut it out. Don't worry.
Oh no, go for it.
I've been drinking peanut butter whiskey since we started, so
Peanut butter whiskey.
I'm gonna be falling asleep pretty soon.
All right.
And how about you, Nickel?
For me, as a parent, anything that I have to put together.
Oh, good answer.
Anything
Yeah.
that I gotta put. I mean, like that, or anything that has a lot of parts. Period.
Good answer. That is a pain in the ass.
Because depending on what age your kid is, you can have a box full of tiny little pieces, and then in 2 seconds flat, you are already missing pieces. And then you just have an incomplete box of tiny pieces.
I agree. So
Yeah.
to piggyback off that, my wife one year bought my first daughter, basically a 4-foot tall dollhouse.
That's what I was thinking too. Those fucking dollhouses.
It had a billion pieces, And on top of that, because I had to screw some stuff in, this is back in my old house. I was exhausted and I had to screw something to the bottom piece, not realizing the screws were too long, and I screwed into my own goddamn floor.
Oh no.
That house got sold, and when we sold it, I obviously pretended that shit wasn't a hole in the ground. So I basically stood on top of it while we were showing off the house.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you left the dollhouse screwed into the floor when you sold the house. You're like, it's a feature.
Honestly, if I could have, yes. Because it's now just sitting in their room, unloved, and I'm never going to throw it away because I'm like, that took 2 fucking hours. That was 2 hours of my life to put together.
Yeah.
Break it up and use it to start the smoker.
Oh my
what
God.
was it?
Yes.
Last year or the year before, our daughter got a Barbie dream house, right? And she likes to get up super early on Christmas morning.
Oh,
so
you gotcha.
we're looking at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting there trying to put together this friggin' Barbie dream house. And I'm just cursing.
Just exhausted, hungover. Me and you smell each other's kind, man. We both would have been drinking regardless if we have work or not. I understand. Oh, let me think real quick. I had one in my head and I lost it. Oh, so my brother insists on getting things for my kids that will cause fights. So every year it's either a laser tag gun or it was a bow and arrow or it's something where there's only one. I have 3 children. He purposely buys one, labels all 3. That way they all get the one bow and arrow. And they
yes.
fight, and then it's always one shooting the other one.
And I was going to say, do you think it's on purpose?
Yes. So
it has to be.
Even. So like if one hits the other one with, let's say, I don't know, a plastic axe game, and they'll throw it at each other instead of throwing it at the target, the moment one of them cries, I have to make sure the other one gets to hit the other one just as hard. Like I don't.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair, right. And it might be my Christmas tradition now. Holy shit! But yeah, anything that shoots, he gets. I guarantee. This year, I guarantee you, it's going to be an actual 38 special.
Yeah, snub nose.
Exactly.
So it's like he would get like a Nerf gun, just one, instead of getting 3 for each of them. You only get one, and each of you gets a turn.
Well, you just place it in the middle of the room, Hunger Games style, and they all run for it.
Well, that's why I know he does it on purpose, because he could buy all 3. He has.
Yeah.
He's an engineer. He has money.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He could 3D print his own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He could do whatever he wanted to, but instead it's one slingshot and one metal slug. I'm like, okay.
Could be 3 smaller, equally sized Nerf guns, so each one gets one. But no, it's the big one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
With an ammo belt and everything.
With a 10 times scope on top.
Yeah, no, he's getting creative. I think the year before last he got one fishing pole. I was just like, I don't even know why, but they're going to start fighting over this, and they did. How about you, Dom?
Worst Christmas gift?
Either new Christmas question or if you want to expand.
Oh, question. I'll just keep it simple. Favorite Christmas movie? For me, it would be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Good movie.
Like every year,
Classic.
my parents' family, we at some point in December, we'll watch it together. Love the Christmas light scene, the disc that he was gonna go down the hill.
Yeah.
And then the cat scene are my favorites.
Excellent.
Always makes me laugh every time.
Excellent movie.
And yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, if you guys want to pick that.
We're going to have that out. We're going to have that out. Not to spoil it for the audience and for Mayday, but there's going to be a thing.
Let's go with Mike. Mike, your turn.
Me?
Yeah, you pick what's your favorite Christmas movie.
So obviously, being the guy who went to movies every year, I would have to say... So my family didn't do the traditional thing. We didn't do Nichols thing where we didn't watch Home Alone every year. My family now does that, but my family growing up didn't do that. I would have to say Christmas movie.
Well, I mean, I guess, in your case, you could pick a movie that you did see on Christmas.
Yeah,
That would technically be a Christmas movie, right?
I take it back. You know what I'm gonna do? So one of the houses we would go to of my cousins, and we were all very close. The dad owned a laser disc, but he had two movies. He had I want to say Jurassic Park, and he had Independence Day. He would play Independence Day every goddamn holiday. 4th of July, 4th of July, which would be obvious, right?
Right. Clearly.
Thanksgiving when we went to his house, and Christmas. I got to the point where I hate Independence Day and I wish we lost because it was so. I watched it so many times that I could almost say the president's speech at the end verbatim. It's a shit movie now. I loved it when I was a kid. I can't watch it again without literally being like, oh, here's the part where Data dies. Here's the part, you know what I mean, where Will Smith says, welcome to Earth, which everybody started saying, welcome to Earth. He doesn't say Earth, he says Earth. I swear to God, there's a TH. And it's one of those things where I'm like, this movie is spoiled for me because of Christmas. So Christmas spoiled Independence Day.
So
Fair enough.
Was he just trying to show off the laser disc?
Oh,
I guess that was a big
we've
deal
already
back.
fucking seen it. And then DVDs got so good that the Laserdisc was not worth showing off, but he kept doing the Laserdisc.
It's like it still works. I still got this. You're gonna watch it.
Well, the reason why is one, the lasers. I don't know how much it cost, but it was in the hundreds of dollars at the time, and then every movie was like $100.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Laserdiscs were stupid expensive.
Yeah, stupid expensive. But I mean, at the time, it was amazing technology, and we didn't. Obviously, my family had VHS. We didn't have that shit. So so my family being impressed was I was like, oh, let's go play another movie, forgetting that he only had two.
I mean, that's the thing is for a little while, some places you could rent laser discs, and it was the same price as any other movie rental. So that's my grandpa had one, and he's the same thing. He only had like two movies, but we'd go down to the mom and pop video rental place and rent one. So why I watched Last Action Hero so many times.
Okay, so for me, the list is great and many. Like there are a ton of Christmas movies.
Oh yeah,
that I watch. Let's see. First, you got to go with Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Very good.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the animated one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mess with the live action one.
Honestly, like me and you had that era. That doesn't exist anymore, but you looked forward for them playing Grinch every year
on TV.
Yeah, you would. Honestly, I remember those days.
Mm-hmm. So also A Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out. You have to have that one. Yeah. And actually that's a tradition I forgot about. I mean, watching it on the 24/7, when they play it 24/7. Yeah. You just have that running in the background all the time. Yeah. What else though? Home Alone. Yeah. Although I could get, take or leave Home Alone. That's not something I have to watch every year.
Home Alone was too good for me because I had lofty goals of being as mischievous as Macaulay Culkin.
Which is why John's parents stopped inviting people over to their house.
I was gonna say, as kids, I don't know if you guys did the same thing, but we definitely had a Home Alone moment or two because latchkey kids. So we would put like thumbtacks on the driveway and shit like that. Right. Whenever we were by ourselves for too long. But yeah, that was all Home Alone.
I never got I never tried to blowtorch the door handle.
Oh, I didn't have access to fire for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. It was all locked away.
Yeah, exactly. Liquor cabinet though, no lock.
But yeah, I think, it's a quick list, but I think I'm done.
Okay.
New question?
John, what are your movies?
Oh yeah.
Did you go? No.
Did I skip John again?
Yeah, you skipped John.
It's okay. It's residual. It's residual anger at the realization
second episode in a row
that I am the more improved version of you. No, it's the basics. We don't have anything crazy on here. The kids watch all of their weird like Barbie Christmas and
all the new ones.
all the little like made for like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, whatever IP they're into, the Christmas version of that. Home Alone, of course, Charlie Brown. I like to go back and watch some of those old claymation, like the Frosty the Snowman and all that stuff.
Right, the Bass and Rankin.
Yeah, that stuff is fun. Muppet Christmas. I love the Muppets. I'll watch.
That's
Muppets.
a good one too. Yeah,
I forgot about that one. That is a good one.
Yeah, I love the Muppets. But really, or I said Muppet Christmas. Yeah, Muppet Christmas Carol is what I meant. But like, yeah, sometimes I'll watch. Sometimes we'll watch Harold and Kumar's 3D Christmas, not with the kids.
I never saw that.
It's fun. It's one of those movies that they made. It's got the Harold and Kumar feel, but the pointlessly obvious 3D gags for when 3D movies were a big deal.
Yeah.
right.
But then one that I think everybody goes for, or maybe not everybody, but everyone in my family, but is Elf.
Elf is good.
Elf
I
is
can
a solid
honestly
movie.
say I've never seen that whole movie.
Really?
Wow.
It's a
I've
decent.
not
It's a
seen that
very
whole
decent
movie.
movie. It's a very decent movie.
Yeah, it's directed by the guy who started the MCU with Iron Man.
Oh, Jon Favreau.
Yeah, and the Mandalorian. So yeah, fun fact.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a hell of a cast.
I needed a Christmas gift, and that was a fun fact by ShadoSpartan.
I mean, the cast is great. I mean, it's just a fun movie.
Yeah, I just had no real interest in seeing it. Yeah, I don't know.
If you got Disney Plus, it's on there.
Yeah, watch it with the.
We aren't spoiled by movies. We aren't somebody else's podcast.
You know what I just thought of? Did you guys ever watch that animated movie called Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do remember that one.
I don't even know that was an animated movie.
Because I just looked it up, and the plot is crazy.
What is it?
She gets run over by a reindeer, obviously. Santa takes her to the North Pole for medical attention. Gets brought back, but she has amnesia, and then disappears again. And then cousin Mel takes this chance to accuse Santa of kidnapping, leaving the scene of an accident, and I can't say it.
Soliciting? Soliciting?
No, you know how it's vehicular, but instead it's with a sleigh, so slayicular negligence.
Oh, Jesus, right.
I can't really
And
say, but
you
yeah, that's
saw
what
this
Santa's
before?
getting charged with.
You know this movie? I've never heard of this.
No, I just quickly
seen
looked
it.
up the plot on Wikipedia because I was curious.
When did this come out?
In 2000.
It was like a made-for-TV movie.
What the F?
Probably on like ABC Family, I want to say.
That was a family movie?
Yeah, that's a family movie.
I can already make the plot. I can already make the plot better. Okay, so it starts off the same, right? Grandma, it's just the namesake. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. So she's out doing her thing. Gets hit by Santa in the sleigh. He brings her to the North Pole still for medical attention, despite there being a perfectly good hospital down the street that he could probably bring her to significantly faster. But Santa understands how shitty medical insurance can be for those elderly members of our society.
Right. That's
and
right.
he didn't want to put her through that. So he
I
brought her up north to do magic stuff. But as with any foray into magic, there are and can be unintended results. So when Grandma got back, she, something was a little off, and she was developing a taste for human flesh. There you go. Nothing else.
Sounds about right.
Ooh.
That's better.
Yeah.
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
that's the real Christmas miracle.
And then they have to defeat Grandma before she turns the whole town.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is better, John.
All right, time to shop this to Hollywood and see
Right.
if I can get in there for one of those made-for-TV horror
This is
movies.
gonna be a Time Pals only exclusive. We're gonna AI the shit out of this.
Oh God. I thought you were gonna say that we were gonna film the movie and be the cast, the entire cast of the movie.
I would love to do that too.
Shadow Spartan can play grandma.
Oh, and you know how the movie ends? Grandma accidentally opens up Cousin Mel's reindeer nip fruitcake, causing the reindeer to run her over again.
Does she die? Does she die, or do you see like a grandma hand come out of the earth and like grab Jason's mask and pull it down into hell with her?
No, it just says Jake and Grandpa rush over to help her, only to be all right this time.
Nah, whatever.
Yeah, right.
That sounds like a cop out to me.
Okay, so, my question is kind of similar to Underscores, except this time it's what was a toy that you as a kid yourself was like you thought was going to be amazing, and you were waiting all Christmas season for it, and you were like, I think I'm going to get it, I hope for it, and then you get it and you're like so excited, and then you are then instantly so disappointed.
Ooh.
I am ready for this one, and
Go for it, because I know what I have. I know what I'm going for, but you go ahead.
I hope I'm not stealing yours. Is yours Marvel related at all?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. So here I'll drop a link for you guys to take a look at it first, or not first, but like alongside of it. Now we used to get, I don't remember what it was like the Macy's catalog. There was a whole toy thing in there, and we'd circle the stuff we wanted to give the adults ideas and let Santa know. One of them was this box set. It was 2 rows,
Oh yeah,
5 figures, the X-Men Mutant Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
I
And we're
used to
just
look
like-
at that and beg for that.
We were like, this is fucking awesome. It comes with Wolverine and Cyclops and
Yeah.
Iceman. Nowhere in that description did it tell you that it was just a fucking diorama and all of the figures were glued together so you couldn't take them out and play with them.
Get
Oh,
out
no.
of here.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Christmas
We would have cut
Day-
off the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what we ended up doing. We took
Yeah.
we took X-Acto knives and we cut off the feet, or not cut off the feet. Like we cut underneath the feet, and
Right,
but the joints. So everybody's like frozen because they glued all of the joints of the action figures in place.
Joints
So,
in this
I
one
mean,
look
I
articulated.
remember that, and I remember like wanting it as a kid, knowing I wasn't gonna get it, and that was fucking. That's amazing. That's what it actually was.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet, man. It was like that was the word. Like we were so excited, and I felt bad for the adults who got those for my
'Cause
cousin
they
and
didn't
I.
know. Yeah,
They didn't
Right.
know, and then they just
They
see our
didn't know, yeah.
faces, and we're just like, "What the fuck is?
Yeah.
why can't we play with the toys?"
Oh shit.
I mean, I remember
Christmas
being
is ruined.
I remember being super annoyed with them to the point where, like, I think this came out in like 90. Oh, it says 93. So I kept the figures because it's like I still have the figures. I'll still play with them even though they can't move. But like even into middle school and high school, I would just grab one out of like the bin of random toys I still had in my closet and just sit on my bed with an X-Acto knife and just like scratch in the joint and try and loosen it still. And then successfully loosen one joint and then toss it back in the closet. And then I'd do another one like a month
I
later.
100% thought you were gonna say I had an X-Acto knife and I was either cutting myself.
I just needed to feel something again after that fucking Christmas. No, yeah, it was just like an ongoing life project for me. Anytime I was like really bored, I just lay on my bed with an action figure and just like pick at the glue. And like, yeah, that was the worst one. So I just who
That's valid.
who made this thing?
That's Toy Biz.
Yeah.
Toy
That's
Biz.
crazy.
Fuck you, Toy Biz. Fuck
Well, they
you
made all
so
all
hard.
of them.
Yes, you're right. And so Fuck you, Toy Biz. That's what
Wow, I did dodge a bullet because that would have devastated me.
Okay. Mine is it happened multiple Christmases, but it's no fault of a parent or anything like that. It was just the way of the world then. Remote controlled cars.
Oh, hell yeah.
Remote controlled cars where anytime you got one for Christmas, you're like, oh, this is so sick. And then you spend the next like 4 hours charging the battery. And you're like, oh, I want to use it now, but we got to charge the battery. You wait like 4 hours, and then you get like 15 minutes of playtime with it. And then you're like, this sucks. And that was just the way of the world in the 90s, you know? It was always so cool and exciting to get like a RC car, especially the cool different styles they started coming out with, you know? It was more than just a race car. It could turn into a monster truck. Its wheels opened up into teeth and stuff.
Oh,
You know,
had that one. I'd wanted that one when I was a kid.
my favorite one was the Ricochet, the one with the oversized tires, and it could drive both forward and backward. And so, like, you can ram it into stuff, and then it would flip over. Yeah,
You had that
but still,
one where the little claws came out.
I think I got it maybe at a garage sale once.
Okay. I remember the commercials for that for sure.
Right. But yeah, no, it was always so exciting. But then you were like, oh crap, that's right. I can't even touch it for another like 3 or 4 hours. And then once you're like, all right, it's done. And then it's like 15 minutes of drive time.
What was almost worse to me was, so like I got those, you said Ricochet, that was my favorite one because it just, flipped all over the place. But was having one of those family members that had one of those, like an actual remote control car, like $300-$400 remote control car kit, goes 30 miles an hour.
Oh shit!
You have to like put it together and solder stuff. And then you can't, they won't let you touch it. So you just got to watch them play
with your
remote
toy.
control car.
Oh
Because
god!
maybe one time you did touch it and you took it off a ramp and smashed the shell off of it or something.
So my brother, being the engineer, he had something like that him and his. So this is the 80s, right? So him and his friends were all into like the muscle cars of the day. So they had one, and that thing used to fly. And again, I was not allowed to touch it at all. But yeah, it was amazing.
I think I did get one of those car for kids, but same kind of thing, that it would take like 2 or 3 hours to charge up for 10 minutes of driving at a max speed of 3 miles per hour.
Oh.
But hey, you actually get to sit in it as a kid and you get to turn the steering wheel. But
power wheels. Yeah, power wheels.
Yeah, whatever those are called.
Yeah. Power wheels.
There's a really creepy RC car racing course over in Antioch.
Over at the fairgrounds, right?
Yeah, it's weird, man. It was by the paintball place there, and we'd go paintballing out there. The people that were there, like, it looked more like a drug deal than a bunch of people racing RC cars. Like, it was just, they'd all look at you as you were driving in to go park for paintball, and you're just like, eh.
I think for my choice, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was something called Captain Power. And Captain Power, so I'd wanted laser tag forever. I could never get it. But Captain Power was a figure that you would put inside of a plane, and it came with a VHS. So the VHS would play essentially a Dragon's Lair style movie, where there would be these flashing purple panels. So you would hold your plane up to it. It would have a little trigger, and you would shoot at the panels, and you would get points. And then if you got hit too many times, your guy would basically eject and lose the game.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
No, but that sounds way cool. I would be excited about that.
On paper, way cool. On commercials, way cool. My parents decided, well, we'll get underscore this one because we can't afford the laser tag. So it's basically the thing was so one, they couldn't afford they couldn't find Captain Power. So they got me the villain of the show, which oh god, it looked like Spock wearing like a black condom helmet. And the plane was the plane. So the Captain Power himself, the hero, awesome plane. It was like, a spaceship, I should say. Silver, chrome, like gold laser guns. The villain is bullshit. It's like it's basically like you could tell somebody used an old like mold of the X-wing of not X-wing of like the X-Men what is that, Blackbird?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they just painted over it, and then the game itself on paper, it's like, oh, this is rad. The game itself made no sense, and I should have thought of that as a kid, but I was like 6. So like you would push the button trying to get points, but all it is just like a fucking IR. Like it doesn't know what you're doing, and it would randomly eject you. So like it would just like, oh, you lost now, and your guy would go flying. You would rewind, replay the VHS, and then you would live for a little longer. But it's all fucking random. And even as a 6-year-old, I'm like, oh, this sucks. You know what I mean? Like this is not an actual game. On paper, amazing.
Right.
And mind you, because it was the 80s. The figures are painted really shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they weren't trying to give us anything quality. It's a gimmick, but I didn't know what a gimmick was back in the day. And I pretended for a whole Christmas to love it, and I never touched it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to think, there's so many other choices I have. Do you guys remember Air Hog?
That sounds very familiar.
Is just basically like an airplane, but it had air pressure engine on it. So you'd pump it up like, you're pumping up the tire in your bike, and then spin the propeller and you'd throw it, and it'd go pretty far. But I remember the commercials made it sound super awesome. And especially my dad loves this kind of stuff, but you spend most of your time just chasing after the damn thing, assuming it went straight, but it might turn or something, hit a tree. And I'm pretty sure it was made out of like styrofoam or something. So it was very easy to break.
Yeah, you get it lost in a tree on like your second flight.
Yeah, right.
You're like, well, Christmas is done.
That's it. I think that'll be my pick. Otherwise, it was like a Hot Wheels toy that was like a volcano that you'd shoot it in. And it would, it would go up and do a couple stuff, and then it'd come back, and then you'd shoot it through the beginning part to accelerate it. But every time I do it, it would like, the car would lose track or something, and then just go all over the place or go back into the volcano. And I was like, maybe I didn't have the right Hot Wheels or something, but I'm just like, yeah, this thing's not as fun as I thought.
Was that the one that blasted up out of the volcano? Like it came out the top when it accelerated, then like looped around?
Something like that. Because there's a bunch of different ones, but this one was, it would go like up and then like turn around, come down around the volcano, and then you'd feed it again right back in.
See, like I remember seeing videos of people taking those, removing the track, and just using it as a Hot Wheels projectile weapon.
Hilarious.
I think there was another one. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that did this, but my cousin like took our accelerator, his accelerator, and put them all on the same track and just in a circle until the track could not handle the speed of the Hot Wheels getting blasted around it.
That's about it. Do we want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up.
It's been about an hour. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Let me underscore.
Yes.
Can I give a shout out?
Yes, of course.
Shout out to our friends at Dead Zone Pop Star. Dark streetwear with designer quality and affordable prices. Their holiday sale is live until January 1st. All items are on sale up to 40% off. Check out their shop at deadzonepopstar.com. And if you use the code DEAD at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order at checkout.
But the code Time Pals was too long for them.
Well, that one
it was too long.
That one is like a all-time thing, so that's good all the time. The code DEAD.
Okay. Maybe we could talk to him about like Tim Pal as a code. That sounds good.
Tim Pal. I think we need to make it now. See, now we need to create a proper like mascot for the podcast. Tim Pal, the Time Pal.
Tim Pal.
But just
Tim
have
is our
it look
mascot.
like this, like he's got to look just like sad and dejected, just like an 80s salaryman that just has to take the train home from work to a family that he thinks doesn't love him.
I feel like we should run that through the AI generator and just see what kind of person it pops out.
Tim Pal.
So it's underscore for the rest of the Time Pals, just like Nichols said. Go ahead and visit deadzonepopstar.com. Use the code DEAD at checkout for a discount. And stick around because Christmas Eve we will have our Is Die Hard a Christmas movie episode with a special guest, attorney Phineas J. Poon. So we'll see ya. So underscore for the rest of the Time Pals. We'll see you next time.
The worlds we reminisce of good old days. But we want help in the modern life. But it's Time Pals, we're just trying to make it last. The world's moved on, but we're stuck in the past. Our podcast ain't big, but it's ours to broadcast. Talking about games and having a blast. The Time Pals, we're just trying to make it last. The Time Pals, we're just trying to make it last.